The sun was bright that afternoon, but the world still felt strangely dim for Rowan Hale as he stood outside the corner cafe, clutching an overfilled tote bag and silently praying his worn-out sneakers wouldn't betray him with another squeak. Life had taught him to keep moving, keep breathing, keep fighting even when every day felt like a balancing act he was destined to lose. But nothing could have prepared him for the moment when he would step into someone else's heartbreak and unknowingly change not just her life, but his own. Sometimes, fate hides behind the smallest ordinary moments: a chance encounter, a forgotten coffee order, an empty seat in a restaurant. And sometimes, it takes only one unexpected act of kindness to redirect two broken people toward a future they never dared to imagine. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that remind us life can change in a single moment, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Touch of Kindness. Your support helps these meaningful stories reach more hearts. Rowan had been running on the last threads of energy for months, juggling his delivery shifts, cleaning jobs, and caring for his daughter, Vivian, a 9-year-old beam of sunshine with mismatched hair bows and a love capable of dissolving any storm. Since his wife passed away 2 years earlier, Rowan's world had become a blur of work schedules, school pickups, and financial tightropes. He never complained because Vivian needed stability, warmth, and a father who didn't crumble under the weight of grief. Every day, Rowan promised himself he would not let life break him, not while his daughter still looked at him as if he hung the stars. That afternoon, Rowan stood outside the cafe waiting for the employee to bring out the repair invoice for Vivian's cheap little tablet he had dropped weeks ago. It wasn't for games, it was for her schoolwork, her reading, her connection to a world that still felt big and hopeful to her. He had patched it up with tape, tried 100 cheap fixes, but the technician had told him it needed a replacement part, one he barely had money for. He exhaled slowly and told himself he'd figure it out. He always did. Somehow, inside the cafe, he noticed a woman sitting near the window with trembling hands and a small bouquet of daisies beside a half-finished latte. She checked her phone again and again, her face falling more with every passing minute. She was dressed beautifully, in an elegant ochre sundress that matched the gentle golden light filling the room. Her hair was pinned back neatly, though a few strands had begun to fall loose, as if giving up on staying perfect for someone who wasn't coming. Rowan didn't know her name yet, had no reason to, but he couldn't look away from the quiet ache radiating from her. Her name was Mira, a woman who had spent years locked inside a world of polite smiles and polished expectation. Raised in wealthy circles but carrying quiet insecurities her parents never understood. Mira had gone through life being told she needed to be perfect to be loved. Today had been her first attempt to step back into dating after a painful breakup. She had chosen this cafe, this table, and this bouquet carefully, hoping maybe today would be the start of something new. Instead, she had been sitting alone for nearly an hour, watching her reflection blur in the window while messages remained unread on the other end. Rowan wasn't the kind of man who inserted himself into someone else's moment, but something in Mira's expression, its quiet ruin, its exhausted hope, pulled at him. It reminded him of the nights he tried to convince Vivian that everything was okay, even when stacks of overdue bills said otherwise. It reminded him of a person clinging to the last threads of dignity, pretending it didn't hurt. As fate would have it, Rowan stepped back inside the cafe right as a waiter approached Mira to gently ask if she still expected someone. Mira tried to smile, tried to pretend it didn't matter, tried to lift her chin and show she was stronger than disappointment. But tears shimmered at the edges of her eyes, and the moment stretched like a delicate glass thread ready to snap. Rowan saw her fingers trembling on the mug, saw the way she swallowed down her embarrassment, and something inside him responded before he could think. Not with heroics, not with dramatic gestures, but with quiet human kindness. He walked toward her table with careful steps, simply asking the waiter to bring her fresh water and assuring him that she'd be okay. He didn't look at Mira as a stranger needing saving. He looked at her the way he looked at anyone enduring a moment they shouldn't have to face alone. Mira didn't know what to make of the man with tired eyes who offered her a napkin and a gentle smile. He didn't ask what happened. He didn't ask why she was alone. He didn't try to comfort her with hollow optimism. He just stood there, offering presence, not pity. For Mira, who had spent years surrounded by people who saw only what she could offer them. Rowan's simple humanity felt like sunlight through a crack in the wall. The afternoon light shifted, illuminating Rowan's worn shirt, the fraying strap of his bag, the faint tiredness in his posture. Mira noticed the dirt on his shoes, the roughness of his hands, the exhaustion etched into him. He wasn't here to impress anyone. He wasn't pretending. And for the first time in a long time, Mira felt seen for who she was, not for the image she maintained. Rowan planned to leave quickly. He didn't want to intrude, but fate once again pulled him into Mira's day, because just as he turned to go, his old phone, its screen cracked and dim buzzed with a notification. The bank app flashed. Insufficient funds for the tablet repair payment. He froze, his breath catching. He had miscalculated again. Life always seemed to demand more than he had. Trying not to show his panic, Rowan stepped away, but Mira had noticed. She saw the shadows that crossed his face, the quiet pain he tried to hide. Before she even understood why, she picked up her things and followed him outside, not out of pity, but because someone who had given kindness so freely should not have to suffer alone. When she gently asked if he was all right, Rowan attempted to brush it off, with the kind of humility that had cost him too much over the years, but his voice wavered, and for the first time in months, he allowed someone to see past the surface. He told her about Vivian, about the tablet, about trying to keep everything afloat. Not as a plea for help, just as an explanation for why he seemed distracted. Mira listened quietly, truly listened. She didn't offer him money or sympathy. Instead, she asked if he would walk with her to the park nearby, a small gesture. But Rowan sensed she needed company as much as he needed a break from carrying the weight of everything alone. The two walked through the bright afternoon park, where sunlit leaves rustled gently overhead and children's laughter echoed from the playground. Rowan felt the heaviness in his shoulders ease as he talked about Vivian's love for drawing, her dream of becoming an illustrator someday. Mira shared a bit of her own heart, speaking about loneliness despite living in a world of excess. She didn't mention her family name, the Caldwell fortune, or the towering glass building her father once ran. She wanted for once to exist without those labels. What neither of them knew was that Rowan's kindness had not gone unnoticed. Across the park, a man in a charcoal suit paused mid-step when he recognized Mira. His name was Alaric, one of the youngest and most enigmatic CEOs. The country, the billionaire owner of a global design and tech firm. He had grown up with the Caldwells, once engaged in business partnerships and near family bonds, though private tensions had frayed those connections over the years. Alaric wasn't a man easily surprised, yet seeing Mira, usually poised and immaculate, walking with a man in scuffed shoes and humble clothes, stopped him cold. From a distance, Alaric watched Rowan adjust the strap of his bag to avoid it slipping, noticed the way Rowan shielded Mira from a bicyclist who passed too close, and how he listened to her with a gentleness most people lacked. Alaric had seen Mira on her worst days, even admired her resilience, though they had never been romantically involved. But what captured him now wasn't Mira, it was Rowan. There was something in the single dad's posture, his steadiness, his quiet strength. A quality Alaric had spent years searching for in people he hired, partnered with, or even trusted. Something grounded and authentic that money could never buy. He found himself unable to look away. In that moment, something shifted inside Alaric, something he never expected. He wasn't drawn to Rowan out of curiosity or business instinct. He was drawn to him because Rowan had the rare kind of soul that made Alaric's guarded heart stir in a way it hadn't in years. The next few days unfolded like falling dominoes. Mira and Rowan found themselves exchanging brief messages, not romantic ones, but warm, human check-ins that gave both of them something to look forward to. Rowan helped Mira rediscover simple joys, while Mira reminded Rowan that he was more than just a struggling father trying to survive. They became healing companions in ways neither had planned. But destiny, always unpredictable, had another twist prepared. One sunny week later,